Where did you get that necklace? The words crack like a whip. Emily's feet leave the ground. Marcus Vance's fist twisted in her collar, her spine slammed against the wall. His other hand is already reaching for the gun at his hip. The entire restaurant freezes. 30 men, 30 loaded weapons, one terrified waitress. Because that necklace, that delicate silver chain with the sapphire pendant, belonged to Marcus Vance's wife, and she's been dead for 2 years. Marcus cocks the gun, presses it against Emily's temple. His hand is shaking, not with rage, with grief. "You have 3 seconds," he whispers. "Then I paint this wall with your brain. Stay with me. Subscribe. Comment your city below. I want to see how far this story travels. You won't believe where this goes." 3. Emily doesn't beg. That's what stops Marcus from pulling the trigger immediately. Her eyes wide, terrified, but not empty, lock onto his. She's not looking at the gun. She's looking at him. 2. "Your wife didn't die in that crash," Emily says. Silence. Dangerous, lethal silence. Marcus's finger tightens on the trigger. Behind him, Daniel Cross is already moving forward. "Boss, let me handle this trash." "Shut up." Marcus doesn't take his eyes off Emily. "What did you just say?" Emily's voice is steady despite the gun barrel pressed into her skin. "Sophia Vance didn't die on Lakeshore Drive 2 years ago. She died 3 days later. In my apartment. In my arms." The gun wavers, just slightly. "You're lying." "I have proof." "Proof," Marcus laughs, and it's a terrible sound. "My wife burned to death in her car. I identified her wedding ring. Her dental records were faked." Emily's words cut through his. "The woman who burned in that car wasn't Sophia. Your wife survived the crash. She crawled out. She walked 7 miles, bleeding from a gunshot wound, and she found me." Marcus's world tilts. The gun drops an inch. Gunshot. Left shoulder, through and through. Emily meets his gaze without flinching. "She wasn't in an accident, Mr. Vance. Someone tried to murder her, and they almost succeeded." The restaurant erupts. Tommy Moretti is shouting. 3 other men are advancing on Emily with weapons drawn, but Marcus raises his free hand and everyone freezes again. "Let her down, boss," Daniel says carefully. "She's clearly insane." "I said shut up." Marcus's voice could freeze blood. He slowly lowers Emily to the ground but keeps the gun trained on her chest. "You have 60 seconds to convince me not to kill you. Start talking." Emily reaches slowly into her apron pocket. Every gun in the room follows the movement. She pulls out a photograph. Marcus takes it, and the floor drops out from under him. It's Sophia. But this photo wasn't taken 2 years ago. She's thinner, hollow-eyed. There's blood matted in her hair, dried on her temple. She's sitting in what looks like a tiny bathroom, leaning against the shower stall. And she's looking directly at the camera with an expression Marcus has never seen on her face before. Terror. "When was this taken?" His voice barely works. 3 weeks after your accident," Emily says. "I took it with my phone. She insisted. Said you'd need proof." Marcus's hands are shaking now. Actually shaking. He zooms in on the photo. On Sophia's left shoulder, visible through her torn, blood-soaked shirt, he can see the edge of a wound. Ragged, fresh. "How did you meet her?" "Roosevelt Road, just past midnight. She flagged down my car." Emily's voice gains strength now, like she's been waiting 2 years to tell this story. "I thought she was drunk at first, or high. Then I saw the blood. God, there was so much blood. It was running down her arm, dripping onto the pavement. When she collapsed against my passenger door, I thought she was already dead." Marcus lowers the gun. His crew is staring at him, confused. He ignores them. "What did she say?" "At first, nothing coherent. She kept passing out. I got her into my car and drove straight to my apartment. I knew better than to take her to a hospital after what she told me." Emily swallows hard. "When we got inside, when I laid her on my couch and cut away her shirt to see the wound, that's when she grabbed my wrist. And she said," Emily's voice cracks. "She said, 'Don't call anyone. They'll kill me. They'll kill you, please.'" Marcus closes his eyes. He can hear Sophia's voice saying those words. Can picture her broken and bleeding, begging a stranger for help. "I'm not a nurse," Emily continues, "but I grew up with 3 older brothers who did stupid shit. I knew how to clean a wound, pack it, wrap it. The bullet went clean through that, probably saved her life initially, But the entry wound was infected, bad. I used everything I had rubbing alcohol gauze medical tape I bought from the 24-hour Walgreens down the street. She stayed with you. Marcus opens his eyes. 3 days, Emily nods. The first day she was mostly unconscious, fevered, delirious. She kept calling for you, over and over. Marcus, Marcus, please. I need to get to Marcus. It broke my heart. Marcus has to turn away. He walks to the window overlooking the river, but he's not seeing Chicago. He's seeing Sophia alone, terrified, calling for him while he sat in their empty mansion, thinking she was dead. What did she tell you? His voice is rough. Everything. Emily steps closer, brave or foolish. Marcus isn't sure which. On the second day, her fever broke. She woke up lucid, clear, and she told me who you were, who she was, what had happened. Tell me. Emily takes a breath. She said she'd been investigating your organization's finances for 6 months. Not because she didn't trust you, because she loved you. She said money was disappearing. Large amounts. But every time she tried to trace it, the trail went cold. She thought maybe one of your accountants was skimming, or maybe a rival family had someone on the inside. Marcus turns back. I never knew she was doing that. She didn't want to worry you until she had proof. Emily pulls out another item from her pocket. This time it's a small black notebook. Water-stained. Blood-stained. She kept everything in here. Names, dates, account numbers. She was building a case. Marcus takes the notebook, opens it. Sophia's handwriting fills every page. Neat. Precise. Lists of transactions that don't match his records. Meetings between his people and outsiders. Discrepancies in shipment logs. And one name appears over and over. Daniel Cross. No, Marcus looks up at Daniel, his underboss, his friend for 8 years, the man who stood beside him at Sophia's funeral. No, this is... She confronted him, Emily says quietly. That's what got her killed. Daniel's face has gone white. Boss, whatever this crazy bitch is saying, she has proof, Daniel. Marcus's voice is dead calm now, dangerous calm. She has photographs, documentation, and she has Sophia's notebook with your name written on every other page. So before you say another word, I suggest you think very carefully about what comes out of your mouth next. Daniel's hand moves toward his gun. He never reaches it. Tommy Moretti slams into him from the side, driving him to the ground. 2 other men pile on. Within seconds, Daniel is face down on the marble floor with 3 guns pressed against his skull. Don't kill him yet, Marcus says. I want him conscious for what comes next. He turns back to Emily. Keep going. Tell me everything. Emily nods her eyes on Daniel's prone form. Sophia said she found evidence that Daniel had been stealing from you for 3 years. $12 million total. He was using shell companies' offshore accounts, funneling money to the Russo family. The Russos, Marcus feels ice in his veins. Why would Daniel? He made a deal with them. Sophia found the contracts. Daniel would weaken your organization from the inside, steal money, sabotage deals, feed them information about your operations. In exchange, when the Russos finally took over your territory, Daniel would become their underboss. He'd keep his power just under new management. You fucking traitor, Tommy growls, pressing his gun harder against Daniel's head. You sold us out for what? A goddamn promotion. Daniel says nothing. His face is pressed into the floor, but Marcus can see his eyes. And there's no denial there, only calculation. He's trying to figure out if there's still a way to survive this. There isn't. Sophia confronted him on March 15th, Emily continues. 2 years ago, she called him to meet her at Navy Pier, said she wanted to talk about a discrepancy in the quarterly reports. But she brought the notebook, all her evidence. She thought, Emily's voice breaks. She thought if she showed him what she'd found, if she gave him a chance to confess, you might show mercy, that you'd handle it quietly. Marcus laughs bitterly. She always saw the best in people, even when she shouldn't. Daniel pulled a gun instead, right there in the parking lot, shot her before she could even scream. Then he put her in her car, drove it to Lakeshore Drive, and ran it off the road into the barrier. Made it look like she lost control. But she survived, Marcus says. Barely. Emily's eyes are wet now. She said she saw Daniel standing on the bridge above the crash site, watching, making sure she was dead. But it was dark and the car was already on fire, and she managed to crawl out the passenger side before the flames spread. She rolled into the drainage ditch below the highway, laid there for hours bleeding while Daniel assumed she burned. Marcus can picture it. Sophia broken and bleeding, hiding in a ditch while her car burned above her. While Daniel probably called him to deliver the tragic news. While Marcus rushed to the scene and fell apart. How did she get to you? She walked. Emily wipes her eyes. Or crawled mostly, followed the lake south for miles. She said she couldn't go to a hospital because Daniel would be monitoring them. Couldn't call anyone because she didn't know who else was compromised, so she just walked until she saw my car. And you helped her, a complete stranger. She was dying, Emily says simply. What else was I supposed to do? Marcus studies this young woman, this waitress who had nothing to gain and everything to lose, who took in a bleeding, terrified stranger and kept her secret for 2 years, who's now standing in front of Chicago's most dangerous crime boss, risking her life to deliver a promise. You're either the bravest person I've ever met, Marcus says, or the most foolish. Both, probably. Emily manages a weak smile. Sophia said the same thing. What happened on the third day? Emily's smile vanishes. The infection spread. I didn't have antibiotics, didn't have proper medical equipment. I tried everything, cold compresses for the fever honey on the wound to fight infection, elevation to reduce swelling. But it wasn't enough. Her fever hit 105. She started hallucinating, talking to people who weren't there. To you, mostly. Marcus's jaw clenches. What did she say? She told you she was sorry, that she tried to come home, that she loved you more than anything in this world. Tears streamed down Emily's face now. She made me promise to find you, to tell you the truth, to give you this. Emily reaches into her apron one more time and pulls out something that makes Marcus's heart stop. A USB drive. She recorded everything, Emily says. Audio files, photographs, scanned boss documents, bank statements. She said it was insurance, that if anything happened to her, you'd need proof, real proof, not just her word. Marcus takes the USB drive with numb fingers. It's small, ordinary, and it contains the last words his wife ever spoke. She died just before dawn, Emily whispers. I was holding her hand. She woke up one last time, looked at me and said, "Tell Marcus I waited for him. Tell him I always will." Then she closed her eyes, and she was gone. The room is silent. 30 hardened criminals, men who've seen death in every form, are staring at the floor. Some are crying openly. Marcus can't cry, can't feel anything except a vast howling emptiness where his soul used to be. What did you do with her body? His voice sounds foreign. I buried her. Emily meets his gaze. There's a small park near my apartment. Oak trees. She said she always wanted to be buried under oak trees. So I waited until midnight and I buried her there. It's not marked. I couldn't risk it. But I visit her every week. Bring flowers. Talk to her. Tell her I'm still trying to keep my promise. Marcus nods slowly. Then he crosses to Daniel, who's still pinned to the floor by Tommy and the others. He crouches down. Look at me, Marcus says. Daniel turns his head slightly. His eyes are defiant, still calculating. You killed my wife, Marcus says conversationally. Shot her in cold blood, left her to burn. And when she miraculously survived, you let her die slowly from infection in a stranger's apartment instead of in my arms where she belonged. Marcus, listen. Marcus punches him. Once. Hard. Daniel's head bounces off the marble floor and his nose explodes in blood. You stood beside me at her funeral. Marcus continues, his voice never rising above a whisper. Gave the eulogy because I couldn't speak. Held me up when I collapsed at the cemetery. All while knowing you murdered her. It was business. Daniel spits blood. She was going to destroy everything. 3 years of planning $12 million in investments with the Russos. She would have ruined it all. She was my wife, Marcus roars, and the sound echoes through the restaurant like thunder. She was my wife, and you killed her for money. He stands abruptly, breathing hard. When he speaks again, his voice is controlled, cold. Tommy, take him to the lake house. Basement. You know what to do. Tommy grins. With pleasure, boss. As they drag Daniel away, screaming, now begging, promising information, Marcus turns to his remaining crew. I want a full audit. Financial operational personnel. Every person Daniel's had contact with in the last 3 years. Every deal he's made. Every phone call. Every email. I want to know everyone involved in this. Boss, that's over 200 people to investigate, someone starts. Then you'd better get started. Marcus's eyes are chips of ice. Anyone who helped Daniel, anyone who knew and said nothing, anyone who benefited from Sophia's death, they die. All of them. I don't care if it's a cop, a politician, or the Pope himself. They all die. The crew nods and disperses, already pulling out phones. Marcus returns to Emily. She's standing exactly where he left her, looking small and exhausted. You're in danger now, he says. Daniel has allies, the Russos, corrupt cops, federal agents maybe. Once they realize what you've told me. I know. Emily's voice is steady. I've known for 2 years. Every day I wake up wondering if today's the day someone figures out what I know. But Sophia asked me to do this, so I did it. Marcus pulls out his phone. Victor, I need you at La Riviere immediately, full security detail. He looks at Emily. What's your address? 827 South Halsted, apartment 3B. 827 South Halsted, apartment 3B. I want a team there now. Sweep it, pack everything, bring it all to the Monroe safe house. He hangs up. You'll stay there until this is resolved. I can't just leave my life. Your life ended the moment you walked into this restaurant. Marcus's tone is gentle but firm. As of right now, Emily Thompson is dead. You're under my protection, my family, and anyone who touches you will suffer in ways that make death look like mercy. Emily stares at him for a long moment. Then she nods. There's one more thing, she says quietly. Sophia told me to give you something after I told you everything else. She reaches behind her neck and unclasps the necklace. The sapphire pendant catches the light as she holds it out. She said you gave her this in Venice, your 5th anniversary. She said she wore it every day because it reminded her of the moment she knew she'd love you forever. Emily's voice cracks. She said when you see it again, you'll know she never stopped loving you, not for 1 second. Marcus takes the necklace. The chain is broken in places. The sapphire is scratched, but it's real. It's Sophia's. And for the first time in 2 years, Marcus Vance, the most feared man in Chicago, breaks. Not with sobs, not dramatically, but his shoulders shake. Once, his eyes close. A single tear tracks down his cheek. Emily steps forward and wraps her arms around him. It's awkward. She's small. He's massive, but it's human. Real. She loved you so much, Emily whispers. Even at the end. Especially at the end. You were her last thought, her last word, her last breath. Marcus doesn't speak. Can't speak. He just stands there, this broken king, in his expensive suit, holding the necklace that belonged to his murdered wife, and lets someone comfort him for the first time since the funeral. When he finally pulls away, his eyes are dry again. The grief is locked away. Now there's only rage. Cold, calculated, methodical rage. Thank you, he tells Emily, for keeping your promise, for giving me the truth, for being there when I couldn't be. What are you going to do? Emily asks. Marcus looks at the USB drive in his hand. I'm going to upload this to my laptop. I'm going to see every piece of evidence Sophia died to give me. And then I'm going to systematically destroy every single person who had a hand in her death. And Daniel, Marcus's smile is terrible. Daniel is going to tell me everything. Every name, every deal, every secret, and then he's going to beg me to kill him. But I won't, not for a long, long time. A knock at the door. Victor enters, massive, scarred, utterly loyal. Boss, teams are in position. Take Emily to Monroe, full lockdown protocol. No one gets in or out without my direct authorization. Victor nods. Come with me, miss. Emily hesitates. Mr. Vance. Marcus, he says. Sophia would have wanted you to call me Marcus. Marcus. Emily tries the name. Will I see you again? Yes. When this is over, we'll talk. You kept Sophia alive for 3 extra days. You gave her dignity in death. You kept your promise to her. Marcus's voice is rough. You're family now, whether you want to be or not. Emily nods and follows Victor out. Marcus is alone. He sits at the table where 20 minutes ago he was about to have dinner. Now there's blood on the floor, broken glass, the lingering scent of violence. He opens his laptop, inserts the USB drive. A folder appears, Sophia's insurance. Inside 47 files. Marcus opens the first one. Sophia's face fills the screen. She looks tired, frightened, but her voice is steady. Marcus, if you're watching this, I'm dead, and I'm so sorry. Marcus closes his eyes, but he doesn't stop the video. I found something I wasn't supposed to find. Evidence that Daniel Cross has been stealing from you for 3 years. He's working with the Russos, with federal agents, maybe with others I haven't identified yet. I have proof, bank statements, photographs, audio recordings, everything you'll need to destroy them. Sophia pauses. When she speaks again, her voice breaks. I confronted Daniel tonight. I thought I could fix this quietly. I thought I could protect you from the pain of betrayal. But I was wrong, so wrong. He pulled a gun, Marcus. He shot me, and now I'm dying. Marcus's hands clench into fists. I don't know if I'll survive this, Sophia continues. The wound is bad. I'm bleeding so much, but I managed to escape the crash. I found someone who's helping me. Her name is Emily, and she's kind, Marcus. So kind. If she finds you, please protect her. Please take care of her the way she took care of me. A sob escapes Marcus's throat. I love you, Sophia says. I have loved you since the moment we met. I will love you until my last breath. And if there's anything after this, any heaven, any afterlife, I'll be waiting for you there. I'll always wait for you. The video ends. Marcus sits in silence for a long moment. Then he opens the next file. Bank statements. $12 million flowing from his accounts to shell companies registered in the Cayman Islands. From there to accounts controlled by Antonio Russo. Next file, photographs. Daniel meeting with Russo at a warehouse, shaking hands, smiling. Next file, audio recording. Daniel's voice clear as day. Once Sophia's out of the way, Marcus will be vulnerable. Give me 6 months and I'll have him so paranoid he won't trust anyone. That's when you move in. Next file, more photographs. Daniel meeting with Commissioner Hayes, with Detective Morrison, with Dr. Chen, the coroner. They were all in on it, all paid off, all complicit in Sophia's murder. Marcus keeps opening files. Each one is another nail in Daniel's coffin. Another name added to the list of people who will suffer. By the time he finishes, dawn is breaking over Chicago. Marcus has watched every video, listened to every audio file, read every document, and he has a list. 37 names, 37 people who knew about the plan to kill Sophia, who helped cover it up, who profited from her death. He pulls out his phone and starts making calls. Anthony, I need you to do something for me. I'm sending you a name and address. I want full surveillance, 24/7. I want to know everywhere he goes, everyone he talks to, every breath he takes. He makes the call 37 times. By noon, every person on Sophia's list is being watched. By evening, Marcus has enough evidence to bury them all. He doesn't rush, doesn't act impulsively. He plans, strategizes, thinks 3 moves ahead the way Sophia taught him. And 1 week later, Chicago wakes up to chaos. Commissioner Hayes arrested for corruption. Evidence leaked to every news outlet in the city. Detective Morrison found dead in his home. Ruled a suicide. No one questions it. Dr. Chen's medical license revoked. Her career destroyed in a single day. The Russo family's warehouse is raided simultaneously by the FBI. Millions in contraband seized. Antonio Russo himself arrested on federal racketeering charges. And through it all, Daniel Cross sits in the basement of Marcus's lake house, alive, but wishing he wasn't. Marcus visits him on the 8th day. Daniel is barely recognizable. Broken fingers, shattered ribs, burns, cuts. Tommy and his crew have been thorough, but Daniel is conscious, aware. Marcus crouches in front of him. I want you to know something, Marcus says quietly. Sophia survived for 3 days after you shot her. 3 days of agony, bleeding, infected, dying slowly. And you know what she talked about? You. Daniel's remaining good eye focuses on Marcus. She said she felt sorry for you. Can you imagine that, dying because of you, and she pitied you? Said you must be so broken inside to betray someone who trusted you. Marcus's voice is soft, dangerous. She was always too kind, too forgiving. But I'm not her. Please, Daniel whispers. Please just kill me. No. Marcus stands. You're all going to live, Daniel, for years, decades maybe, and every single day you'll wish you died in this room, because I'm not sending you to prison. I'm not handing you to the Russos. Marcus pulls out his phone and shows Daniel a photograph, a small monastery, somewhere in the mountains of Tibet. They don't ask questions there, Marcus says. They take anyone, rehabilitate them, teach them peace, meditation, silence. Daniel's eye widens in horror. You're going to spend the rest of your life in silence, Daniel. No talking, no contact with the outside world. Just you and your guilt. Every day, for the rest of your life, you'll think about what you did. About Sophia, about the $12 million that's now in charity accounts bearing her name. About the empire you tried to steal that's stronger than ever. You can't. I can, and I will. Marcus turns to leave. They're expecting you tomorrow. Tommy will make sure you arrive safely. And if you try to escape, if you try to kill yourself, if you do anything except what you're told, I'll bring you back. And I'll start on your family instead. He leaves Daniel screaming. 36 days after Emily walked into his restaurant, Marcus visits Sophia's real grave. Emily showed him where it is. A small park on the south side. 3 oak trees in a triangle formation. Sophia buried in the center. Marcus stands there for a long time holding the necklace. I found them, he says quietly. Everyone who hurt you, and they've paid. All of them. He pauses. Emily kept her promise. She's safe now. Protected. I'm taking care of her the way you asked. The wind rustles through the oak leaves. I miss you, Marcus whispers. Every day, every hour. But now I know the truth. And somehow that makes it easier. Knowing you didn't leave me by choice. Knowing you fought. Knowing your last thoughts were of me. He kneels and places the necklace on the ground above where Emily said she buried Sophia's body. I'll come back, he promises. Every week, like Emily did, and I'll tell you stories. About how the organization is thriving. About how the Russos are finished. About how Chicago is safer because of what you found. He stands, turns to leave, and sees Emily standing at the edge of the park holding flowers. She approaches slowly, lays the flowers next to the necklace. I told her you'd come, Emily says. Told her you'd find us eventually. Thank you, Marcus says, for everything. They stand together in silence as the sun sets over Chicago. 2 people bound by a promise to a woman they both loved. And somewhere in whatever comes after this life, Sophia Vance finally rests in peace. 3 weeks pass before Emily speaks to Marcus again. She's sitting in the Monroe safe house, a penthouse overlooking Grant Park, when Victor knocks on the door. Boss wants to see you, downstairs, 5 minutes. Emily's learned not to ask questions. She pulls on a jacket and follows. Marcus is waiting in the back of a black SUV. He looks different, thinner, harder. Like he's burned away everything, soft, and left only steel. Get in, he says. Emily climbs into the passenger seat. The SUV pulls away from the curb before she's even closed the door. Where are we going, she asks. To meet someone who knew Sophia. Marcus stares out the window. Someone who might have answers about why Daniel wasn't working alone. Emily's stomach tightens. You think there are others? I know there are. Marcus pulls out his phone and shows her a photograph. A woman, late 50s, elegant. Recognize her? Emily squints. No. Should I? Her name is Catherine Aldridge. She was Sophia's mentor at Northwestern. They stayed close after graduation. Sophia trusted her. Marcus's jaw clenches. 3 days before the shooting, Sophia had lunch with Catherine. Alone, no security, no witnesses. You think Catherine was involved? I think Sophia told her something. Something important enough that Catherine's been unreachable for the past 2 weeks. Marcus looks at Emily. Her office says she's on sabbatical. Her neighbors say they haven't seen her. Her phone goes straight to voicemail. Maybe she really is on vacation. Catherine Aldridge hasn't taken a vacation in 15 years. Marcus slides the phone back into his pocket. She knows something, and today we're going to find out what. The SUV stops in front of an old brownstone in Lincoln Park. Marcus gets out first, scans the street, then nods for Emily to follow. They climb the steps. Marcus doesn't knock. He pulls out a key. Emily doesn't ask where he got it and opens the door. Inside the house is dark, silent, too silent. Marcus draws his gun. Stay behind me. They move through the foyer into the living room. Everything looks normal. Expensive furniture, art on the walls, a half-finished cup of tea on the coffee table. But there's dust on the tea, days old at least. Marcus checks the kitchen. Empty. The dining room. Empty. He's heading toward the stairs when Emily notices something. Marcus. Her voice is barely a whisper. He turns. Emily is pointing at a door beneath the staircase. It's slightly ajar, and there's a smell coming from it, faint but unmistakable. Copper. Iron. Blood. Marcus pushes past her and yanks the door open. Steps lead down into darkness. He finds a light switch. The basement floods with fluorescent white. Catherine Aldridge is at the bottom of the stairs, or what's left of her. Emily turns away gagging, but Marcus descends the stairs calmly, clinically. He's seen worse. Done worse. Catherine is tied to a chair. Her hands are purple from lack of circulation. Her face is bruised beyond recognition. And there's a single gunshot wound in the center of her forehead. Execution style. Marcus crouches beside the body. She's been dead 3 days, maybe 4. Who would do this? Emily's voice shakes. Someone who wanted to know what she knew. Marcus stands and starts searching the basement. Someone who got to her before we could. He finds what he's looking for behind a loose brick in the wall, a small metal box. Inside a flash drive and a handwritten note, Marcus reads the note aloud. If you're reading this, I'm already dead. Sophia was right, they're everywhere, trust no one. The flash drive contains everything she gave me. Use it, finish what she started. Catherine. Emily moves closer. What's on the flash drive? Marcus pockets it. Let's find out. They're back in the SUV when Marcus's phone rings. He answers, listens. His face goes white. When? A pause. How many? Another pause. I'm on my way. He hangs up and tells the driver, the warehouse, now. What happened? Emily asks. Marcus's voice is flat, dead. Someone just hit 3 of my distribution centers. Simultaneously, 27 of my people are dead. The warehouse is chaos when they arrive. Fire trucks, ambulances, police everywhere. But they part for Marcus like water around a stone. Tommy meets them at the entrance. His face is covered in soot and blood. Boss, it was coordinated, professional. They knew exactly where to hit and when. Casualties. 27 dead, 15 injured, millions in product destroyed. Tommy spits blood. This wasn't the Russos. They don't have the manpower anymore. This was someone new. Marcus walks through the wreckage. Bodies covered in white sheets, scorch marks on the walls, the acrid smell of burned chemicals. Emily follows, trying not to look at the bodies, but she sees one hand sticking out from under a sheet. Young, a tattoo on the wrist. Someone's son, someone's brother. This is because of me, she whispers. Marcus stops. What? This is retaliation. Because I told you about Daniel. Because you dismantled his network. Emily's voice rises. These people died because of what I did. Marcus grabs her shoulders. These people died because Daniel Cross betrayed his family. Because he chose greed over loyalty. Because he murdered my wife. His grip tightens. You gave me the truth. What I do with it is my choice, not yours. But no, Marcus's eyes bore into hers. You don't get to carry this guilt. I won't let you. Tommy interrupts. Boss, you need to see this. He leads them to the back of the warehouse, to a wall that somehow survived the fire. Spray painted in red, the Queen sends her regards. Emily's blood goes cold. The Queen. Marcus's face is stone. I was hoping she was just a rumor. Who is she? Isabella Marchetti. Tommy answers when Marcus doesn't. Legend in the underworld. Italian. Supposedly runs half the trafficking operations on the East Coast. But no one's ever seen her face. She works through proxies, ghosts. Why would she come after you? Emily asked Marcus. Because Daniel promised her Chicago. Marcus stares at the message. The Russos were the public face. But Isabella was the real power behind the takeover. And now that Daniel's gone and the Russos are finished, she's making her move directly. So what do we do? Marcus pulls out his phone and dials. Anthony, I need everything you have on Isabella Marchetti. Background. Associates. Known locations. I don't care if you have to bribe the FBI director himself. I want it in 2 hours. He hangs up and turns to Tommy. Double security on all remaining locations. No one goes anywhere alone. And pull everyone back to the core territory. We consolidate until we know what we're dealing with. That's defensive thinking, boss, Tommy says carefully. Sophia would have told you to go on the offensive. Marcus's jaw clenches at the mention of Sophia's name. But Tommy's right. Sophia always said the best defense is making the other side too scared to attack. You're right. Marcus takes a breath. Emily, go back to the safe house. Victor will, no. Emily's voice is firm. Marcus blinks. What? I said no. I'm not hiding anymore. Emily steps forward. Sophia didn't hide. She investigated. She fought. She died trying to protect you. And I promised her I'd help you finish this. You've done enough. I haven't done anything except deliver a message and hide in a penthouse for 3 weeks. Emily's eyes flash. I'm not useless, Marcus. I'm not helpless, and I'm not going to sit in a safe house while more people die because of information I brought you. Tommy grins. I like her. Marcus looks at Emily for a long moment, really seeing her for the first time since that night in the restaurant. She's not the terrified waitress anymore. There's steel in her spine now. Sophia's steel. Fine, he says, but you follow orders. No exceptions. Deal. They're heading back to the SUV when Marcus's phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. You have something of mine. I have something of yours. Trade coordinates attached. Marcus opens the coordinates. An abandoned meatpacking plant on the south side. It's a trap, Tommy says immediately. Obviously. Marcus types a response. When the reply comes instantly. 1 hour, come alone or she dies. Emily reads over his shoulder. Marcus's phone buzzes again. This time it's a photo, a woman, 50s, blonde, bound to a chair with duct tape over her mouth. Emily gasps. Is that my sister? Marcus's voice could freeze hell. Rebecca! The drive to the meatpacking plant takes 45 minutes. Marcus spends the entire time on the phone coordinating. By the time they arrive, he has 30 men positioned in a 3-block radius. But he walks in alone. The plan is exactly what Emily expected. Rusted equipment, broken windows, the smell of old death soaked into the concrete. Rebecca is in the center of the main floor, still tied to the chair. Her face is bruised, but her eyes are alert, angry. Hello, Marcus. The voice comes from above. Emily can't see the speaker, but the voice is cultured, European. Thank you for coming. Show yourself, Marcus demands. A woman descends from a metal staircase. She's younger than Emily expected, maybe 40, strikingly beautiful, dark hair, dark eyes, designer clothes that probably cost more than Emily makes in a year, Isabella Marchetti. You're real, Marcus says. Did you think I was a ghost story? Isabella smiles. Men always underestimate what they can't see. What do you want? What Daniel promised me, Chicago. Isabella circles Rebecca's chair like a shark. He was supposed to weaken you from the inside, make you vulnerable. Then the Russos would move in, you'd fall, and I'd take over the remains. Daniel's plan failed. Because of her. Isabella looks directly at Emily, who's watching from the shadows near the entrance. Come out, little mouse. Let me see the girl who destroyed 3 years of planning. Emily steps into the light. She's terrified, but she doesn't show it. Isabella studies her. You don't look like much, but then neither did Sophia, and she caused me quite a bit of trouble. Sophia's dead, Marcus says. I know. Daniel handled that part beautifully. Too bad he couldn't finish the job. Isabella pulls out a knife and presses it against Rebecca's throat. Here's my offer. You give me everything Daniel promised territory operations connections. In exchange, your sister lives. No deal. Isabella presses harder. A thin line of blood appears on Rebecca's neck. I don't think you understand the situation. You don't understand the situation. Marcus's voice is ice. You think I came alone because you told me to. You think I'm stupid enough to walk into a trap unprepared. He pulls out his phone and shows Isabella the screen. Live feeds from 30 different cameras, 30 different angles of the plant. And in every single one, Isabella's men are visible, surrounded, outgunned. Isabella's smile vanishes. You have 3 seconds to drop the knife, Marcus says. Then my men open fire and everyone in this building dies, including you. You'd kill your own sister. Marcus doesn't hesitate. To stop you. Rebecca's eyes widen, but she doesn't look betrayed. She looks proud. Isabella calculates. Emily can see it in her eyes, running through scenarios looking for an out. She doesn't find one. The knife drops. Smart choice. Marcus gestures and Tommy appears with 4 men. They secure Isabella's hands behind her back. Emily rushes to Rebecca and starts cutting her free. Are you okay? I'm fine. Rebecca's voice is hoarse but strong. Stubborn bitch kept asking where Marcus kept his financial records. I told her if I knew I'd have robbed him years ago. Marcus almost smiles. Almost. He walks over to Isabella. You're going to tell me everything. Every operation you run. Every person you work with. Every deal you've made. Isabella spits at him. I'll tell you nothing. We'll see. Marcus nods to Tommy. Take her to the lake house. Same room Daniel was in. Make her comfortable. Tommy's grin is terrifying. My pleasure, boss. As they drag Isabella away, screaming, now cursing in Italian, Marcus turns to Emily. You shouldn't have followed me in. You said I could help. I said you could help, not throw yourself into danger. But there's no heat in his words, just concern. Sophia would have done the same thing, Emily says quietly. Marcus's expression softens. Yeah, she would have. They're loading Rebecca into the SUV when Anthony calls. Boss, I found something big. Talk. Catherine Aldridge. Before she died, she made a phone call. Lasted 47 seconds. Want to guess who she called? Marcus's stomach drops. Tell me. Commissioner Hayes, the same commissioner you exposed for corruption last month. Anthony pauses. Boss Hayes was released from custody 2 days ago. Lack of evidence. His lawyer got everything thrown out on a technicality. Marcus closes his eyes. Where is he now? That's the thing. He disappeared, cleaned out his bank accounts, sold his house, vanished. Find him. Already on it, but boss, there's more. I pulled Hayes' phone records from the last 6 months. He made regular calls to a burner number. I tracked the burner. It pinged off towers near your house, your office, places only someone close to you would know to monitor. The world tilts. How close? Boss, I think you have a leak. Someone in your inner circle is feeding information to Isabella. Marcus looks at the men around him. Tommy, Victor, Anthony on the phone. Men he's trusted for years. One of them is a traitor. Emily sees his face change. Marcus, what's wrong? He can't answer, can't process it. First Daniel, now someone else. How many people has he trusted who've been lying to his face? His phone buzzes. Another text from an unknown number. You think you've won? You haven't even begun to understand what you're up against. Check your email. Marcus opens his email. There's a new message. No subject line, one attachment, a video file. He clicks it. The video shows Sophia, but not from 2 years ago. This is recent. Last month, maybe? She's alive. Emily gasps. That's impossible. I buried her. I felt her die. Marcus can't breathe, can't think, because Sophia is on the screen moving, talking directly to the camera. Hello, Marcus. Her voice is exactly as he remembers. I know this is confusing. I know you think I'm dead, but I need you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to tell you. The video continues. Sophia explains everything. How she faked her death after escaping Emily's apartment. How she's been in hiding for 2 years, gathering evidence against a conspiracy that goes deeper than Daniel, deeper than Isabella, deeper than anything Marcus has ever encountered. There's a network, Sophia says. Politicians, judges, police, FBI, even other crime families, all working together, all controlled by someone called the Architect. And Marcus, I think I know who it is. The video cuts to black. Then one final message appears. If you want to see me again, come alone to the address below. You have 12 hours. Come armed and I die. Bring anyone and I do. Tell anyone and I die. This is your only chance. An address in Gary, Indiana appears on screen. The video ends. Marcus stares at the phone. His hands are shaking. Emily's voice is barely a whisper. She's alive. That's impossible, Marcus says. But his voice lacks conviction because he wants it to be true so badly he can taste it. It's a deep fake, Tommy says firmly. It has to be. Someone's manipulating you. Her eyes. Marcus's voice cracks. She has this thing she does when she's nervous. Blinks 3 times fast. She did it twice in that video. That could be coincidence. And she called me Marcus, not Mark, not baby. Marcus. She only does that when she's serious, when she needs me to really listen. Marcus looks at Emily. You said she died in your arms. She did, I swear she did. Her heart stopped. She wasn't breathing. I checked it for a pulse for 10 minutes. Emily's face is white. Unless what? Unless I was wrong. Emily's voice shakes. I'm not a doctor. I didn't have equipment. If her heartbeat was weak enough, if her breathing was shallow enough, maybe I missed it. Maybe she was in some kind of coma or shock and I thought, she covers her mouth. Oh God, what if I buried her alive? You didn't. Marcus grabs her shoulders. If she was alive, she would have woken up, would have escaped. You didn't kill her, Emily. But what if the video is real? What if she's been alive this whole time and we don't know anything yet? Marcus forces himself to think clearly. This could be a trap, Isabella trying to lure me out after her plan failed. Or it could be real, Emily says. Marcus, what if Sophia's really alive? The question hangs in the air like smoke. Marcus looks at the address on his phone, so Ramon. Gary, Indiana, 40 minutes away, 12 hours to decide. He knows it's probably a trap, knows walking into it alone is suicide. But if there's even a 1% chance that Sophia is alive, that she's waiting for him, that he can hold her again, he'd walk through hell itself. I'm going, he says. Boss, you can't? Tommy starts. I'm going alone, as requested. Then you're a dead man. Probably. Marcus hands Tommy his phone. If I'm not back in 24 hours, this phone has instructions, passwords to accounts, contacts, everything you'll need to run the organization. Marcus, don't do this, Emily pleads. I have to. Marcus looks at her, really looks at her. If Sophia's alive, I have to try. You understand that, don't you? Emily's eyes fill with tears. And if it's a trap, then I'll die knowing I tried. Marcus turns to Victor. Get Rebecca somewhere safe, somewhere no one knows about, and keep Emily with her. No, Emily steps forward. If you're going, I'm going with you. Absolutely not. Sophia trusted me. She came to me when she was dying. If she's really alive, she'll trust me again. Emily's voice is steady now. And if it's a trap, you'll need someone watching your back. Marcus wants to argue, but he sees the determination in her eyes, the same determination Sophia always had. Fine, he says, but you stay into the car. No matter what happens, you stay in the car. Emily nods. 12 hours later, Marcus and Emily are driving through Gary, Indiana in an unmarked sedan. No backup, no weapons visible. Just two people heading toward an abandoned factory that probably contains either the love of Marcus's life or a bullet with his name on it. The address leads them to the edge of the industrial district, a massive building, windows, broken graffiti covering the walls. Marcus parks a block away. Remember, you stay here. I remember. He gets out of the car, walks toward the factory. Every instinct screaming at him to turn around, but he doesn't. He pushes open the rusted door and steps inside. The factory floor is empty, dark, silent except for his footsteps echoing off concrete. Hello, his voice carries. A light flicks on in the center of the room, illuminating a single chair. And sitting in that chair, hands folded in her lap, looking exactly as she did in the video, Sophia. Marcus's legs nearly give out. Is it really you? She stands, smiles. And suddenly Marcus is running, closing the distance between them, reaching for her. His hands pass through empty air. Sophia flickers, wavers, a hologram. I'm sorry, Marcus. Her voice comes from speakers hidden in the walls. I couldn't risk meeting you in person. Not yet. Not until you understand what we're really dealing with. Marcus stumbles back, heart shattering all over again. You're alive. I'm alive. The hologram shifts, showing Sophia pacing. Emily was right about everything she told you. Daniel did shoot me. I did survive. But I didn't die in her apartment, Marcus. I faked my death because I realized the conspiracy went higher than I thought. If I came back to you, they'd kill us both. Who's they? The architect and his network. And Marcus, I know who the architect is. Sophia's hologram turns to face him directly. It's your father. The words hit like a physical blow. That's impossible, Marcus whispers. My father's been dead for 10 years. That's what he wanted everyone to believe. Sophia's voice is gentle but firm. But he's alive, Marcus, and he's been orchestrating everything. Daniel's betrayal, Isabella's operations, even my shooting. All of it designed to test you, to see if you were worthy of the empire he really built. Marcus can't breathe. His father, Vincent Vance, the man who taught him everything, who supposedly died of a heart attack when Marcus was 28. I have proof, Sophia continues. Documents, photos, audio recordings. Everything you need to confirm what I'm telling you is true, but I can't show you here. It's not safe. Where are you? Somewhere he can't find me. Not yet. The hologram flickers again. Marcus, I need you to trust me. One more time. There's a locker at Union Station. Number 847. Inside is a key to a storage unit. Everything you need is there. Go alone. Tell no one, not even Emily. Emily came with me. I know, she's in the car outside. Sophia smiles sadly. She kept her promise to me. Tell her thank you. Tell her I'm sorry for all of this. Sophia, please, let me see you. Really see you. Soon, I promise, but first you need to understand the truth about your father, about who you really are. The hologram starts to fade. I love you, Marcus. I never stopped. And when this is over, we'll be together again. I swear. Wait, but she's gone. The lights cut out. Marcus stands alone in the darkness, world crumbling around him. His father is alive. Sophia is alive. And nothing he thought he knew is true. He walks back to the car in a daze. Emily takes one look at his face and knows. It was real, she asks. It was real. Marcus's voice is hollow. She's alive. She's hiding. And she just told me something that changes everything. What? Marcus looks at Emily, this woman who's been dragged into his nightmare, who's stayed loyal despite having every reason to run. My father's alive, he says, and according to Sophia, he's behind all of this. Emily's eyes widen. What are you going to do? Marcus starts the car. I'm going to Union Station. I'm going to get whatever evidence Sophia left, and then I'm going to find my father and get answers. I'm coming with you. Emily, don't. She cuts him off. Don't try to protect me. Don't try to send me away. Sophia trusted me with her life. Now I'm trusting you with mine. We do this together or not at all. Marcus looks at her, sees the steel in her eyes, the loyalty, the strength. Okay, he says, together. They drive back to Chicago in silence, both processing what just happened, both knowing that whatever they find in that storage unit will change everything. At Union Station, Marcus finds locker 847, inside a small brass key with a number engraved on it. The number leads them to a storage facility in Cicero, Unit 23. Marcus unlocks it. Inside boxes, dozens of them, files, documents, USB drives, photographs. And sitting on top of the nearest box, a handwritten note in Sophia's familiar handwriting. I'm sorry you have to learn the truth this way, but you need to know what your father really built, what you've inherited, and why he faked his death. Start with the red folder. It explains everything. I love you. Always. S. Marcus picks up the red folder, opens it, and his entire world shatters. The red folder contains a single photograph. Marcus stares at it, hands trembling. It's his father, Vincent Vance. But this photo was taken 6 months ago. Marcus can see the date stamp in the corner. His father is standing outside a cafe in Prague, very much alive, talking to someone whose face is turned away from the camera. That's impossible, Marcus whispers. I was at his funeral. I watched them lower the casket. Keep reading, Emily says quietly, looking over his shoulder at the other documents spilling from the box. Marcus picks up the next page. A death certificate. Vincent Vance, cause of death myocardial infarction. Signed by Dr. Elizabeth Chen, the same coroner who falsified Sophia's autopsy. She was working for him, Marcus realizes. Even back then, 10 years ago. Emily pulls out another document. Marcus, look at this. It's a bank statement. An account in the Cayman Islands under a shell corporation called Titan Holdings. The account has been active for 12 years. Current balance $473 million. Marcus's mouth goes dry. That's more than my entire organization is worth. Not your organization. Emily's found another file. This is a list of assets. Properties, businesses, legitimate companies. Marcus, your father didn't just run a crime empire. He built a corporate empire underneath it. Restaurants, construction companies, shipping firms, all clean on the surface, all generating massive profits, all feeding into accounts you never knew existed. Marcus starts pulling out more files. Each one reveals another layer of deception. His father didn't fake his death to escape enemies. He faked it to expand, to build something bigger than Chicago, bigger than the United States. Here, Emily hands him a ledger, transaction history for the past 10 years. Your father's been funding operations in 17 countries, weapons trafficking in Eastern Europe, drug routes through South America, human trafficking in Southeast Asia. Marcus feels sick. I thought I knew what he was, what we were: street crime, territory disputes, protection rackets. But this is global, Emily finishes. Your father isn't a crime boss, Marcus. He's something else entirely. Marcus finds a letter, handwritten, addressed to him. He opens it with shaking hands. The letter reads, "Son, if you're reading this, Sophia found the truth and had the courage to show you. I'm proud of her for that, and I'm proud of you for having the strength to look. Yes, I'm alive. Yes, I've been orchestrating events in your life for the past decade. Daniel's betrayal wasn't random. I cultivated it. I placed him in your organization specifically to test you, to see if you could identify threats, eliminate them. Sophia's shooting was unfortunate but necessary. She was getting too close to the truth before you were ready. I needed to see if you'd break or if you'd become stronger. You chose strength. You dismantled Daniel's network. You exposed corruption. You protected what's yours. You passed the test. Now it's time for you to know the truth. You're not just my son, Marcus. You're my successor. And the empire I built, the real empire, is ready for you to inherit. But first you need to prove you're worthy of it. Isabella Marchetti works for me. Her attack on your warehouses was another test. The leak in your organization, I planted it. Commissioner Hayes, I arranged his release. Every obstacle you've faced in the past month has been designed to forge you into the leader I need you to be. Meet me at the address below. Come alone. Bring no weapons. If you're truly ready to understand your legacy, you'll trust me one final time. Your father, Vincent Vance. Marcus drops the letter like it's burning him. He killed Sophia. His voice is barely audible. He ordered Daniel to kill her. The letter says the shooting was unfortunate, Emily starts. He's lying. Marcus's roar echoes through the storage unit. He manipulated Daniel for years, put him in position to betray me, and when Sophia discovered the truth, he had her killed. Then he spent 2 years testing me like I'm some kind of lab rat. Emily picks up the letter carefully. There's an address at the bottom. Detroit. A hotel. Marcus is pacing now, rage and grief warring inside him. Everything I've done, every decision I've made, he's been pulling the strings, watching, judging. What are you going to do? Marcus stops, looks at Emily. I'm going to Detroit. I'm going to look my father in the eye, and I'm going to kill him. Marcus, he took everything from me. Marcus's voice breaks. He took Sophia. He took 10 years of my life. He turned my own organization against me and called it a test. He doesn't get to live after that. Emily steps closer. If you kill him, you'll never know the whole truth. Never know why he really did this. Never know what he's built. I don't care. Yes, you do. Emily's voice is firm. Because Sophia cared. She spent 2 years gathering this evidence, risking her life staying away from you all to give you the truth. If you go in there blind with rage, you dishonor everything she sacrificed. Marcus wants to argue, wants to scream, but Emily's right. Sophia didn't collect all this information just so Marcus could get revenge. She wanted him to understand. Fine, he says through clenched teeth. I'll hear what he has to say. Then I'll kill him. They spend the next 3 hours going through every box in the storage unit. By the time they're finished, Marcus has a complete picture of his father's empire. It's staggering in scope. Vincent Vance doesn't just control criminal operations. He controls senators, judges, CEOs. He has people in the CIA, the FBI, Interpol. He's not a crime boss. He's a shadow government. And according to these documents, Marcus is supposed to inherit all of it. There's one more thing, Emily says, holding up a USB drive. This was at the bottom of the last box. Marcus plugs it into his laptop. A video file opens. Sophia appears on screen. But this recording is different. She's not calm and composed like the hologram. She's crying. Desperate. Marcus, if you're watching this, it means I'm dead. Really dead this time, not faked. Her voice shakes. Your father found me 3 days ago. I don't know how, but he did. He's keeping me alive until he's sure you've seen all the evidence, until he's sure you understand what he's built. Then he's going to kill me. He told me himself. Marcus's blood turns to ice. He said he needs you focused, needs you angry enough to be ruthless, but controlled enough to think clearly. He said my death, my real death, will be the final test. How you handle it will determine if you're ready. Sophia wipes her tears. I'm sorry, Marcus. I tried to stay hidden. I tried to protect you from this. But he's too powerful, too connected. There's nowhere I can run that he won't find me. The video timestamp shows it was recorded 2 days ago. Sophia is still alive, right now, somewhere. And Vincent has her. He's been planning this from the beginning, Marcus realizes. The hologram in Gary wasn't Sophia trying to warn me. It was my father using her to lure me to the storage unit, to make sure I found this evidence, to make sure I understood the scope of his empire before he can't finish the sentence. Before he kills her, Emily whispers, in front of you, to see how you react. Marcus is already running for the car. Emily chases after him. Where are you going? She shouts. Detroit, now! Marcus throws the car into drive before Emily's even fully inside. If there's any chance Sophia's still alive, I have to get there before... His phone rings. Unknown number. He answers. What? Hello, son. Vincent Vance's voice is exactly as Marcus remembers. Deep. Authoritative. The voice that used to read him bedtime stories and teach him how to throw a punch. Where is she? Marcus demands. At the hotel, waiting for you. But Marcus, you need to understand something. What happens next depends entirely on your choices. If you hurt her, I've already hurt her, shot her, chased her into hiding, terrorized her for 2 years. The question is whether I kill her. Vincent pauses. That decision is yours to make. What are you talking about? Come to Detroit. We'll discuss the terms. You have 6 hours. The line goes dead. Marcus drives like a man possessed. The 40-minute trip to Detroit takes 25. Emily holds on and doesn't complain, though Marcus sees her knuckles white on the door handle. The address leads to the Detroit Opera House. Not a hotel, an opera house. He's making a statement, Emily mutters. Drama, theater. He thinks this is all a performance. They enter through the main doors. The lobby is empty. Their footsteps echo on marble floors. Hello, Marcus's voice carries through the space. A door opens at the far end of the lobby. A man steps out. He's in his 60s, gray hair, expensive suit, and Marcus would know that face anywhere. Vincent Vance, his father, alive. Marcus's hand moves to his gun, but Vincent raises his hands in a peaceful gesture. No weapons, remember, those were the terms. Where is Sophia? Upstairs in the opera box, unharmed for now. Vincent gestures. Shall we? Marcus wants to rush past him, to run up those stairs and find Sophia. But he forces himself to stay calm, to think. Vincent didn't bring him here just to return Sophia. There's something else. Another test. They climb the stairs. Emily stays close to Marcus, her hand in her jacket pocket where Marcus knows she's carrying a knife despite his instructions to come unarmed. The opera box overlooks the stage, and there sitting in one of the velvet chairs, hands zip-tied in front of her, is Sophia. She's thinner than Marcus remembers, bruised, exhausted, but alive. Her eyes meet his and tears start streaming down her face. Marcus. He moves toward her, but Vincent blocks his path. Not yet. First we talk. Get out of my way. Sit down, son, Vincent's voice hardens, or I signal my man backstage and Sophia dies before you take another step. Marcus freezes, looks at Sophia. She nods slightly, telling him to comply. He sits. Emily remains standing, watching Vincent like a hawk. Good. Vincent settles into a chair opposite Marcus. Now, let's discuss your future. I don't want anything from you. Yes, you do. You want Sophia. You want the truth. You want to understand why I did what I did. Vincent leans forward, and I'm prepared to give you all of that for a price. What price? Join me. Become my true successor. Take over the empire I've built, not just Chicago, but all of it. 17 countries, billions in assets, power beyond anything you have imagined. Marcus laughs bitterly. You think I'd work with you after what you've done? What I've done? Vincent's eyebrows rise. I've made you stronger. Before Sophia's death, the fake death, you were soft, sentimental. You let emotions cloud your judgment. You trusted people like Daniel without verification. You ran a small-time operation when you could have built an empire. I was happy. You were complacent. Vincent's voice cracks like a whip. And complacency gets you killed in this world. I needed to wake you up, force you to see threats, think strategically, act decisively. By killing my wife, Sophia isn't dead. Vincent gestures to where she sits. She's right there, alive because I allowed it. Yes, I orchestrated Daniel's betrayal. Yes, I arranged the shooting, but I also made sure the bullet went through her shoulder, not her heart. I made sure Emily Thompson, who I'd been watching for months, who I knew had medical training, would be on Roosevelt Road that night. I ensured Sophia survived. Marcus's head is spinning. You planned all of it, every detail, Vincent confirms. Sophia's survival, her time with Emily, the evidence she gathered, her fake death in Emily's apartment, the 2 years in hiding, the storage unit, this meeting, all of it designed to transform you from a street boss into a king. Emily speaks for the first time. You're insane. Vincent looks at her with interest. And you're the wild card, the one element I didn't fully control. I expected you to deliver my letter and disappear. Instead, you stayed, protected Sophia's memory, became important to my son. He smiles. I underestimated you. I don't make that mistake often. Let Sophia go, Marcus demands. Whatever point you were trying to make, you've made it. I'll let her go, Vincent agrees. If you agree to my terms, take your place as my successor, learn the full scope of the empire. In 5 years, I retire completely and you take over everything. Sophia lives. You both live. You get the power, the resources, the legacy I've built. And if I refuse, Vincent's expression doesn't change. Then you walk out of here with nothing. No Sophia, no answers, no empire. I disappear again, and this time you'll never find me. Sophia will vanish too, and you'll spend the rest of your life wondering what you could have had. Marcus looks at Sophia. She's shaking her head slightly, mouthing words he can't quite make out. But he thinks she's saying, don't do it. There's a third option, Marcus says quietly. Oh, Vincent leans back. Enlighten me. I kill you right now. Take Sophia and walk away from all of this. Vincent laughs. With what? You're unarmed. I have a dozen men in this building. Even if you somehow killed me, you'd never make it out alive. Maybe not. Marcus stands slowly, but you'd be dead, and that's worth dying for. The room goes silent. Emily's hand tightens on her knife. Sophia's eyes go wide. Vincent studies his son, really looks at him, and for the first time something like respect crosses his face. You've changed, Vincent says. The old Marcus would have taken the deal, would have rationalized it as protecting Sophia, but you're willing to let her die rather than give me what I want. I'm willing to die before I become you. Vincent nods slowly, then he does something Marcus doesn't expect. He stands, walks to Sophia, pulls out a knife. Marcus tenses, ready to rush him, but Vincent simply cuts Sophia's zip ties. Go, Vincent tells her. You're free. Sophia doesn't move. This is a trick. No trick. You're free, both of you. Vincent looks at Marcus. I wanted to see if you'd choose power or principle. You chose principle. That's the right answer. Marcus doesn't understand. What? The test wasn't whether you'd join me, son. It was whether you'd refuse. Whether you'd stay true to yourself despite everything I put you through. Vincent's smile is sad. Sophia tried to tell me you'd pass, that you had integrity I couldn't break. I didn't believe her, but she was right. Sophia stands slowly still, not trusting this. So that's it. You're just letting us go. Not quite. Vincent pulls out a phone and shows them a photograph. It's Isabella Marchetti, dead bullet through her forehead. I dealt with her an hour ago. The leak in your organization was Commissioner Hayes. He's dead too. Daniel Cross is being transferred from the monastery. to a maximum security prison in Thailand. He'll spend the rest of his life in a cell. Your organization is clean, Marcus. No more traitors, no more tests. Marcus can't process this. Why? Because you're my son, and despite everything I've done, everything I've put you through, I want you to succeed. On your own terms, not mine. Vincent puts the phone away. The empire I built, it's not for you. You're better than that. Better than me. Sophia knew it. Emily knows it. Now I know it too. I don't believe you. You don't have to. Vincent walks toward the door. The storage unit is yours. All the assets, the accounts, the documentation, dispose of it however you see fit. Use it to destroy my network or use it to build something better. Your choice. Where are you going? Away, far away, and you'll never hear from me again. Vincent pauses at the door. I'm sorry, Marcus, for the pain I caused, for the years I took from you, for using Sophia as a pawn. I told myself it was necessary that I was making you stronger, but the truth is simpler. I was a terrible father who tried to mold his son into his own image. And I failed. Thank God I failed. He opens the door. Wait, Marcus calls out. Vincent turns. Did you ever love me? Or was I always just another piece on your chessboard? Vincent's face softens. I loved you from the moment you were born. Every test, every manipulation, every cruel lesson, I did it because I loved you and I wanted you to survive in this world. I just didn't understand that survival isn't the same as living. He looks at Sophia. She taught me that. When she kept choosing you over her own safety, kept protecting you even when it cost her everything, I realized what real love looks like. And it's nothing like what I've shown you. Tears streamed down Marcus's face. I hate you. I know, you should. Vincent's voice breaks. But maybe someday you'll understand why I did what I did. And maybe you'll forgive me, even if I don't deserve it. He walks out. Marcus doesn't follow. He stands frozen watching the door close, feeling like his entire reality has been rewritten in the past 10 minutes. Sophia rushes to him. Her arms wrap around him and suddenly Marcus is collapsing, all the strength draining from his body. He's on his knees sobbing into her shoulder and she's holding him, whispering that it's okay, that she's here, that they're safe. Emily backs away quietly, giving them privacy. I thought you were dead, Marcus gasped between sobs. For 2 years I thought you were dead. I know. I'm so sorry. I wanted to come back to you so badly, but he said he'd kill you if I did. He said he was watching you, that any contact would end with you dying. Sophia pulls back to look at him. I hated every second of being away from you. Every day felt like dying. Why didn't you just run, leave the country, disappear? Because I knew eventually he'd test you, knew he'd put you through hell, and I wanted to make sure you had the evidence, the truth, everything you needed to survive him. Sophia cups his face. I couldn't protect you with my presence, but I could protect you with information. Marcus kisses her, desperate, hungry, 2 years of grief and longing pouring into that kiss. When they finally break apart, they're both crying. We should go, Emily says quietly from the doorway. Before Vincent changes his mind, Marcus nods, helps Sophia stand. They make their way out of the opera house together. Outside, the sun is setting over Detroit. Marcus stops on the steps, breathing in cold air, feeling Sophia's hand in his. What now, she asks. Marcus thinks about the storage unit, the evidence, his father's empire, all that power, all those resources waiting for him to claim or destroy. Now we go home, he says, to Chicago, and we figure out how to build something better than what my father left behind. What about the organization, Bryce? Tommy can run it, or we dismantle it entirely. I don't know yet. I just know I don't want to be Vincent Vance's son anymore. I want to be Marcus Vance, your husband, a man who chooses his own path. Sophia smiles through her tears. I like the sound of that. They walk to the car. Emily drives because neither Marcus nor Sophia can see straight through their tears. Halfway back to Chicago, Marcus gets a text from an unknown number. He opens it. A photograph. Vincent Vance boarding a private plane. And a message I meant what I said. You'll never see me again. Build something worth building, son. Make me proud by being nothing like me. Marcus deletes the message. Blocks the number. Who was that? Sophia asks. No one important, Marcus says. And he means it. When they arrive back in Chicago, Tommy is waiting at the Monroe safe house. He takes one look at Sophia and his jaw drops. Boss, is that? It's her. Marcus helps Sophia inside. And before you ask, yes, she's been alive this whole time. No, I'm not explaining everything tonight. Just know that things are about to change. Change how? Marcus looks around the safe house, at the weapons on the walls, the security monitors, the constant vigilance required to survive in his world. He's tired. So tired. I don't know yet, he admits, but I'm done being tested, done being manipulated, done living in my father's shadow. He looks at Sophia. I want a real life. With her. However that looks. Tommy nods slowly. Whatever you need, boss. We're with you. That night, Marcus and Sophia lie in bed together for the first time in 2 years. Neither of them can sleep. They just hold each other, afraid that if they close their eyes, this will turn out to be a dream. I have to tell you something, Sophia says quietly. Marcus tenses. What? When your father had me, when he was explaining his grand plan, he told me something else. Something he didn't put in any of the files. What? You have a sister, a half-sister. Her name is Diana. She's 19, lives in Boston. Doesn't know who her father is. Sophia takes a breath. Vincent said he's been supporting her financially through a trust fund, but he never contacted her. Never let her know he existed. He said that was his one regret, that he had a daughter he never corrupted. Marcus closes his eyes. Of course his father has more secrets, more surprises. Do you want to find her? Sophia asks. Tell her the truth. I don't know. Maybe. Someday. Marcus pulls Sophia closer. Right now, I just want to exist. With you, without scheming or testing or wondering who's betraying me. Can we have that just for a while? Yes, Sophia whispers. We can have that. And for the first time in a decade, Marcus Vance sleeps without nightmares. The peace lasts exactly 3 days. Marcus wakes on the 4th morning to Sophia screaming. He's on his feet instantly, gun in hand, but Sophia isn't being attacked. She's sitting up in bed, staring at her phone face, white as chalk. What is it? Marcus demands. She can't speak, just turns the phone toward him. The headline reads, Vincent Vance found dead in Zurich hotel, apparent suicide. Marcus takes the phone with numb fingers. The article is brief. His father's body was discovered by hotel staff. Single gunshot wound to the head. No note, no signs of struggle. Swiss police are investigating, but preliminary findings suggest suicide. He's really gone, Sophia whispers. Marcus should feel something. Relief, satisfaction, closure. But all he feels is empty. His phone rings. Tommy. Boss, you see the news? I saw it. There's more. A package arrived for you an hour ago. Courier delivered it personally. Said it was from your father to be delivered in the event of his death. Marcus's stomach drops. What's in it? I didn't open it. Figured you'd want to be here for that. I'm coming. Keep everyone away from it until I get there. He hangs up. Sophia is already getting dressed. You don't have to come, Marcus tells her. Yes, I do. Whatever's in that package, we face it together. 20 minutes later, they're in Marcus's office. Emily insisted on coming too. The three of them stand around Marcus's desk, staring at a simple brown package. Marcus opens it slowly. Inside of the letter, a thumb drive and a key. He reads the letter first. Son, if you're reading this, I followed through on my promise to disappear. Permanently. Don't mourn me. I don't deserve it. But I do need you to understand a few final truths. The thumb drive contains access codes to accounts I never told you about. Offshore. Completely untraceable. Total value $900 million. It's yours. Use it however you want. Build something legitimate. Fund charities. Burn it all. I don't care. It's clean money, well, as clean as money can be when it came from my empire. I laundered it through so many legitimate businesses that even the IRS couldn't trace it back to criminal activity. The key is to a safe deposit box in the First National Bank of Chicago. Box number 1847. Inside, you'll find documents, birth certificates, medical records, photographs, everything you need to find your sister Diana and prove who you are to her. I never contacted her because I didn't want to corrupt her the way I corrupted you. But she deserves to know she has a brother. She deserves to know she's not alone. One more thing. I lied to you in Detroit. I said I was retiring, disappearing. But the truth is I was already dying. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. The doctors gave me 6 months. That was 4 months ago. I didn't want to waste my last weeks on Earth. Didn't want to suffer. So I'm choosing my own exit. On my terms. I hope you can forgive me someday. But I understand if you can't. Be better than me, Marcus. Love Sophia the way I never learned to love anyone. Protect Emily because she's earned it. And find Diana. Give her the family I never gave either of you, your father Vincent. Marcus sets the letter down. His hands aren't shaking anymore. He feels nothing. Absolutely nothing. He was dying, Sophia says quietly. All of it, the tests, the manipulation, he was rushing because he knew he was running out of time. Doesn't make it right, Emily says. No, but it explains it. Sophia looks at Marcus. What are you going to do? Marcus picks up the key. I'm going to the bank. I'm going to open that box. And then I'm going to decide if Diana deserves to know her father was a monster. The First National Bank is downtown. The manager recognizes Marcus. Everyone in Chicago recognizes Marcus and escorts them personally to the vault. Box 1847 is large. The manager unlocks it, then discreetly withdraws. Inside the box, dozens of files. Marcus opens the first one. Diana Vance, born December 3rd, 19 years ago. Mother Rebecca Holloway. Father listed as unknown, but the DNA test stapled to the birth certificate confirms Vincent Vance is the biological father. There are photographs. Diana as a baby, as a child, as a teenager. Vincent never contacted her, but he documented her entire life from a distance. She looks like you, Sophia says, studying a recent photo. Diana has Marcus's dark hair, his sharp jawline, but her eyes are different, kinder, untouched by the violence that's shaped Marcus's life. There's more. Emily pulls out a thick envelope, inside bank statements showing monthly deposits into a trust fund. Every month for 19 years, Vincent deposited $10,000. The current balance is over $2 million. He took care of her, Marcus realizes, from a distance, made sure she never wanted for anything. But never told her who he was, Sophia adds. Never gave her the choice to know him. Marcus finds another document, a letter addressed to Diana, sealed but never sent. Should I open it? He asks. That's not for us to decide, Emily says. That's for Diana. Marcus nods slowly. He's right. Whatever Vincent wanted to say to his daughter, Marcus has no right to read it first. He finds Diana's current address, an apartment in Boston. She's a sophomore at Boston University studying social work, according to the enrollment records Vincent somehow obtained. Social work, Marcus says. She wants to help people. She's nothing like him, nothing like me. You help people too, Sophia argues. You protected Emily. You've kept your organization from preying on innocence. You're not Vincent, Marcus. I've killed people, ordered deaths, ruined lives. To protect what's yours, to stop people like Daniel and Isabella. That's different than what Vincent did. Sophia takes his hand. You're a good man who does bad things when necessary. Vincent was a bad man who occasionally did good things. There's a difference. Marcus wants to believe her. But looking at Diana's photograph, this innocent girl who has no idea what kind of blood runs through her veins, he's not sure good and bad are that simple anymore. I need to meet her, he decides. She deserves to know she has a brother. What about Vincent? Will you tell her about him? I don't know. Maybe, if she asks. Marcus closes the box. But first I need to know if she wants anything to do with me, if she's better off not knowing. They take the train to Boston the next morning. Marcus doesn't want to fly too exposed too public, and he needs the time to think to figure out what he's going to say to a sister he didn't know existed until a week ago. Diana's apartment is in a modest building near campus, student housing, the kind of place where broken furniture gets duct taped and everyone shares one bathroom. Marcus stands outside her door for a full minute before knocking. Just a second, a voice from inside, young, energetic. The door opens. Diana Vance looks exactly like her photographs, but seeing her in person hits Marcus differently. She's real, alive, his sister. Can I help you? She asks, smiling politely. Marcus's mouth goes dry. Diana Vance. Yes. Her smile fades slightly. Do I know you? No, but I need to talk to you about your father. Diana's face closes down. I don't have a father. It's just been me and my mom my whole life. I know. And I'm sorry to show up like this, but your father, our father, he passed away recently, and he left some things for you. Diana stares at him. Our father, what are you talking about? My name is Marcus Vance. Vincent Vance was my father too. Diana's legs seem to give out. She grabs the doorframe for support. Vincent Vance, the crime boss, that Vincent Vance. You know who he was. Everyone knows who Vincent Vance was. He's been all over the news. They found his body in Switzerland. They're saying he ran some kind of international criminal empire. Diana's eyes widen. Oh my God, you're Marcus Vance, the guy who runs Chicago. Marcus nods slowly. And you're saying Vincent Vance was my father? Diana's voice rises. The man who got my mom pregnant and abandoned her, who she refused to talk about my entire life. That's who you're saying my father was. He didn't abandon you, Marcus says. He just never told you he existed. There's a difference. That's worse. Diana's hands are shaking. At least if he abandoned us, it means he made a choice. But you're saying he watched from a distance, knew about me but never contacted me. What kind of person does that? The kind who didn't want to corrupt you with his world. That's not his choice to make. Diana is crying now. I had a right to know, to decide for myself if I wanted a relationship with him. He took that choice away from me. Marcus knows she's right, knows every word she's saying is justified, but he also knows Vincent's reasoning, knows the darkness that would have entered Diana's life if Vincent had claimed her publicly. You're right, Marcus says quietly. It wasn't fair, but he's gone now, and he left you some things. Things I think you should have before you decide how you feel about all of this. Diana wipes her eyes. What things? Marcus hands her the envelope with the letter. This is addressed to you. I didn't read it. That's your choice to make. Diana takes the envelope with trembling hands, stares at her name written in Vincent's handwriting. There's also a trust fund, Sophia says gently. Your father, Vincent, he's been depositing money for you every month since you were born. It's over $2 million now. Diana's face goes white. $2 million. It's yours, no strings attached. He wanted you to have options, to be able to do anything you wanted with your life. I don't want his blood money. It's not blood money, Marcus interrupts. Vincent laundered it specifically for you, ran it through legitimate businesses, paid taxes on it, made it as clean as money can be. It's yours. You can use it to finish school, start a charity, give it all away if you want, but it's legally yours. Diana sits down hard on her apartment floor. She's still holding the letter, staring at it like it might explode. I need time, she says finally, to process this, to figure out what I want to do. Take all the time you need. Marcus pulls out a card with his number. When you're ready to talk, call me. I'll tell you everything I know about Vincent, about our family, about what happened, and if you never want to talk to me again, after that, I'll respect it. Diana takes the card. Why are you doing this? You could have just sent the money and the letter through a lawyer. Why come here personally? Because you're my sister. And I didn't have a choice about Vincent being my father, but I do have a choice about what kind of brother I am to you. Marcus stands. I'm not going to force a relationship, but I wanted you to know you're not alone, that you have family if you want it. Diana looks up at him, studies his face. You look like him. Vincent, I've seen pictures online. I know it's the worst part of looking in the mirror. Do you hate him? Marcus considers the question. I hate what he did, but I think I understand why he did it. And I think part of me will always love him even though I don't want to. Diana nods slowly. That's honest. I appreciate that. They leave Diana with the letter and the information about the trust fund. As they are walking back to the train station, Marcus's phone rings. Tommy, again. Boss, we have a problem. Marcus's stomach tightens. What now? The feds just raided 3 of our warehouses. They had warrants, specific warrants with detailed information about what they'd find and where. How is that possible? We cleaned everything after Isabella. That's the thing, boss. The information they had was new from this week. Someone's been feeding them current intel. Marcus stops walking. You're saying we still have a leak. Worse, the leak knew about the raids in advance and moved product to make sure the feds would find it. They're not trying to expose us. They're trying to give the FBI exactly what they need to take us down. Who? I don't know yet, but boss, it has to be someone in the inner circle. Someone who has access to current operations. Marcus's mind races. After Vincent, after Daniel, after Isabella, he thought it was over. Thought they were clean. Lock it down, he orders. No one moves anything, no deals, no shipments. Full stop until we find the leak. That'll cost us millions. I don't care, find the leak. That's the priority. He hangs up. Sophia and Emily are watching him with worried faces. What happened? Sophia asks. Someone's still betraying us, someone close. Marcus starts walking faster. We need to get back to Chicago, now. The train ride back feels endless. Marcus spends the entire time going through his organization in his head. Who has access to current operations? Who could have known about the warehouse inventory? Who would benefit from him getting arrested? By the time they reach Chicago, Marcus has a list of 12 names. People he trusts. People he's known for years. One of them is a traitor. Tommy meets them at the station with bad news written all over his face. It's worse than I thought, he says without preamble. The feds didn't just raid warehouses. They also froze 6 of our shell company accounts, seized assets worth $50 million, and they've issued warrants for 15 of our people. 15. Marcus feels sick. Who? Tommy hands him a list. Marcus scans the names and his blood runs cold. The list includes Victor, his head of security, the man who's protected him for 8 years. No, Marcus says. Not Victor. He's been loyal since. I thought the same thing, Tommy interrupts. But look at this. He shows Marcus his phone. Bank statements. Wire transfers going from a numbered account to Victor's personal account. $50,000 every month for 6 months. Where's Victor now? Marcus demands. He disappeared 2 hours ago. Haven't been able to reach him. Marcus feels his world tilting again. First Daniel, then his own father. Now Victor. How many times can one person be betrayed before they stop trusting anyone? Find him, Marcus orders. I don't care what it takes. Find him and bring him to me. Tommy nods and leaves. Marcus turns to Sophia and Emily. I need you both somewhere safe. The Monroe safe house is compromised. If Victor's the leak, he knows about it. We need a new location. I know a place, Emily says quietly. My grandmother's house, South Side. No one in your organization knows about it. Not even Victor. Are you sure? I'm sure. She passed away last year, left it to me. I've been renting it out, but the current tenant just moved out. It's empty. Marcus nods. Go there. Both of you. Don't tell anyone where you are. Not Tommy, not Rebecca, no one. What about you? Sophia asks. I'm going to find Victor, and I'm going to get answers. Marcus, if he's working with the FBI, then he'll have FBI protection, which means I need to move fast before they can get him into witness protection. Marcus kisses Sophia hard. I love you. Stay safe. I love you too. Don't do anything stupid. Too late for that. He watches them leave, then turns back to Tommy, who's returned with more news. We found Victor, Tommy says. He's at O'Hare, trying to board a flight to London. How long until his flight leaves? 40 minutes. Marcus is already running for the car. Let's go. They make it to the airport in 25 minutes. Marcus doesn't care about speed limits or traffic laws. He needs to reach Victor before that plane takes off. They find him at the gate. Victor sees Marcus coming, and his face goes from surprise to resigned in an instant. He doesn't run, doesn't fight, just stands there waiting. Why? Marcus asks when he reaches him. Victor looks at him with tired eyes. Because your father asked me to. The words hit like a punch. What? Vincent, he came to me 8 months ago, said he needed someone to feed information to the FBI. Not enough to destroy you, but enough to keep you sharp, keep you vigilant. Another test. Marcus wants to scream. My father's been dead for less than a week. Why are you still doing it? Because he paid me enough to retire. And because he said if I stopped before you figured it out, before you learned to trust your instincts over your loyalties, I'd have failed him. Victor's voice is empty. I didn't want to betray you, Marcus. You've been good to me. But Vincent was very convincing. You let the feds seize $50 million, which Vincent has already replaced in offshore accounts you don't know about yet. Check your email. He sent you access codes before he died. Marcus pulls out his phone. Sure enough, there's an email from Vincent's address, timestamped hours before his death. Inside account numbers and access codes. Total value 53 million. His father's final test. Lose money to the FBI but gain it back elsewhere. Learn that resources can be replaced but loyalty can't. Except Victor's loyalty was bought. Like Daniel's. Like everyone's. Get on your plane, Marcus says quietly, and never come back to Chicago. If I see you again, I'll kill you. Victor nods. I'm sorry, Marcus. For what it's worth, I think you're better than your father ever was. Everyone's better than my father was. Victor boards the plane. Marcus watches it take off, feeling something inside him break. He doesn't cry, doesn't rage, just stands there feeling empty. Tommy finds him 20 minutes later, still standing at the window. Boss, you okay? No, but I will be. Marcus turns from the window. Call everyone. Emergency meeting. Tonight, every single person in the organization. I don't care if they're on vacation or in the hospital. Everyone shows up. What are you planning? I'm planning to tell them the truth, all of it. Vincent, the tests, the betrayals, and then I'm going to give them a choice. What choice? Stay with me and build something better, or leave, and I'll make sure they're taken care of financially. Marcus starts walking toward the exit. I'm done with secrets, done with tests, done with being manipulated by dead men. If I'm going to lead this organization, I'm doing it my way. That night, Marcus stands in front of 200 of his people. They're packed into a warehouse, confused about why they've been summoned. Marcus tells them everything. About Vincent faking his death. About Daniel's betrayal being orchestrated. About Isabella working for his father. About Victor being paid to feed information to the FBI. By the time he's done, the room is silent, shocked. I know what you're thinking, Marcus says. You're thinking, if I can't even trust my inner circle, how can you trust me? And you're right to think that. But here's the thing. I don't want your blind loyalty anymore. I don't want you following orders without question. I want you to make a choice. He pulls out a stack of envelopes. These envelopes contain severance packages, 6 months' salary, letters of recommendation, enough to start over somewhere else if you want. Anyone who wants to leave, take an envelope. No questions asked. No hard feelings. You walk out of here tonight and you're free. Nobody moves. But if you stay, Marcus continues, things are going to change. No more criminal operations that hurt innocents. No more drugs in schools. No more human trafficking. No more protection rackets on businesses that can't afford it. We're going legitimate, step by step, starting today. Tommy speaks up. Boss, if we go legitimate, we lose 70% of our revenue. Then we lose it, but we keep our souls. Marcus looks around the room. My father built an empire on other people's suffering. I'm not doing that anymore. We're going to use the resources we have, the connections, the money, the infrastructure to build something legal. Construction companies, shipping firms, restaurants, real businesses that employ people and contribute to the community. That'll take years, someone calls out. Then it takes years. I'm done taking shortcuts that cost people their lives. Marcus sets the envelopes on a table. Take the night. Think about it. Tomorrow morning, tell me your decision. Stay and build something new, or leave with my blessing. He walks out of the warehouse. Doesn't wait to see who takes the envelopes. Sophia and Emily are waiting in the car. How did it go? Sophia asks. I told them the truth, gave them a choice. Now we see who stays. What if they all leave? Then I start over, with you, with Emily, with whoever believes in building something better. Marcus starts the car. I'm tired of being afraid, tired of looking over my shoulder. If going legitimate means losing everything, then I lose everything. But at least I'll be able to look at myself in the mirror. The next morning, Marcus returns to the warehouse, expecting it to be empty. Instead, he finds 167 people waiting for him. 33 took the severance packages, but the rest stayed. Tommy steps forward. We talked all night, boss, and we agree with you. Vincent's way, it was effective, but it was also destroying us from the inside. We're ready to try something different. Marcus looks at the faces around him, men and women who've chosen to stay despite everything, who believe in him enough to risk an uncertain future. Then let's get to work, he says. Over the next 3 months, Marcus transforms his organization. They shut down every illegal operation. Dissolve partnerships with drug cartels and weapons dealers. Start opening legitimate businesses. It's hard, brutal even. They lose money, lose territory. Other organizations try to move in on what they perceive as weakness. But Marcus holds the line. No going back, no compromises. And slowly and possibly it starts to work. Their construction company lands a city contract. Their shipping firm partners with Amazon. Their restaurants become neighborhood staples. The FBI, having lost their key witness in Victor, drops their investigation. Without current criminal activity to prosecute, they have nothing. Marcus is sitting in his new legitimate office, a far cry from his old setup, when his phone rings. Unknown number. He almost doesn't answer, but something makes him pick up. Hello. Marcus, Diana's voice is small, uncertain. It's me, Diana. Marcus sits up straight. Diana, hi, I didn't think you'd call. I read the letter from Vincent, and I think I'm ready to talk, to hear your side of things. Are you free tomorrow? I can take the train to Chicago. I'll send a car, first class all the way. Just tell me when. They talk for an hour, about Vincent, about family, about the possibility of getting to know each other. When Marcus hangs up, he finds Sophia watching him with a smile. She called, Sophia says. She called. Are you scared? Terrified. What if she meets me and decides she wants nothing to do with me? Then you'll accept it and move on. But Marcus, I don't think that's going to happen. Sophia moves closer. She called. That means she wants to try. And that's all you can ask for. Marcus pulls her close. When did you get so wise? I've always been wise. You were just too stubborn to listen. They laugh. And for the first time in months, Marcus feels something he hasn't felt in years. Hope. Tomorrow he'll meet his sister. Start building a relationship with the family he never knew he had. Tomorrow he'll continue transforming his organization into something Vincent never imagined. Tomorrow he'll keep choosing to be better than his father ever was. But tonight he's just Marcus Vance, sitting with his wife, building something worth building. And that's enough. Diana arrives on a Thursday afternoon. Marcus waits at Union Station, hands in his pockets, watching passengers stream off the Boston train. He spots her immediately. She's wearing a Boston University hoodie, carrying a backpack, looking around nervously. Their eyes meet. She freezes. Marcus raises a hand in an awkward wave. Diana walks toward him slowly, like she's approaching a wild animal that might bolt. Hi, she says when she reaches him. Hi. Marcus doesn't know what to do with his hands. How was the trip? Long, gave me too much time to think. Diana adjusts her backpack. I almost got off at 3 different stops. Convinced myself this was a terrible idea. But you didn't. But I didn't. She manages a small smile. I read Vincent's letter 27 times. Counted. What did it say? Diana pulls a letter from her pocket. It's worn from being folded and unfolded. He said he was sorry, that he watched me from a distance my whole life and wished he'd been brave enough to know me, that I was the one good thing he ever created. Her voice breaks. He said I reminded him that there was still something worth protecting in this world. Marcus swallows hard. He wasn't wrong about that. He also said, I have a brother who's nothing like him, who fights every day to be better than the man who raised him. Diana looks up at Marcus. Is that true? Are you nothing like him? I'm trying not to be. Some days I succeed. Other days I see his face in the mirror and I hate myself. Marcus gestures toward the exit. Come on, let's get you somewhere we can actually talk. They go to a coffee shop in Lincoln Park. Neutral territory, public enough to feel safe, quiet enough to have a real conversation. Diana orders a latte. Marcus gets black coffee. They sit across from each other in silence for a full minute before Diana speaks. Tell me about him. Vincent, the real version, not the news articles. Marcus takes a breath. He was brilliant, ruthless, terrifying, and he loved in the most twisted way possible. He thought controlling people's lives was the same as protecting him. He thought manipulation was a form of care. Did he ever hit you? No, he never needed to. His words were enough. Marcus traces the rim of his coffee cup. When I was 12, I wanted to quit piano lessons. I hated practicing. So Vincent sat me down and told me about a boy who quit things when they got hard. Said that boy grew up weak, got himself killed because he didn't have the discipline to see things through. Then he asked if I wanted to be that boy. Did you quit? I practiced 3 hours a day for the next 6 years, became concert level good, and I've never touched a piano since the day he died. Or I thought he died. Marcus laughs bitterly. Turns out he was alive all along, pulling strings and testing me like I was a science experiment. Diana is quiet for a moment. The letter said he tested you, that he orchestrated betrayals, killed people close to you. Is that true? Yes. And you're telling me this? Why, to scare me off? To give you the truth? So you can decide if you want someone like me in your life? Marcus meets her eyes. I've killed people, Diana. I've ordered deaths. I've done terrible things to protect what's mine. I'm trying to be better now, trying to build something legitimate, but I can't erase my past. I don't need you to erase it. Diana's voice is steady. I need you to be honest about it. The letter said you were the only person who ever stood up to Vincent, that you chose your own path even when it cost you everything. Is that true too? Marcus thinks about Sophia, about refusing his father's empire, about walking away from $900 million to build something clean. I'm trying, he says finally. Every day, I'm trying. Diana nods slowly. Then she does something that surprises him. She reaches across the table and takes his hand. Then we'll try together, she says, because I don't know what it means to have a brother, and you don't know what it means to have a sister. But we can figure it out. Marcus's throat tightens. You're not scared of me. I'm terrified of you. You're a former crime boss with a body count, but you're also the only family I have left who isn't my mom, and the letter said you've been trying to protect me from the moment you found out I existed. That counts for something. They spend the next 3 hours talking. Marcus tells her about Sophia, about Emily, about the organization and its transformation. Diana tells him about school, about wanting to help vulnerable populations, about her dream of opening a community center in underserved neighborhoods. I could help with that, Marcus says. Funding, connections. I know people in city government who owe me favors. Legal favors? Diana raises an eyebrow. Mostly legal. I'm working on it. Diana laughs. It's the first real laugh Marcus has heard from her. Okay, but I have conditions. No illegal money. No favors that put anyone in danger. And you have to actually show up, not just write checks from a distance like Vincent did. Deal. They're leaving the coffee shop when Marcus's phone rings. Rebecca. Marcus, thank God. I've been trying to reach you for an hour. What's wrong? It's Emily. She's in the hospital. Someone attacked her outside her grandmother's house. Marcus's world stops. Is she alive? Yes, but barely. She's in surgery now. You need to get here. Marcus is already running for the car. Diana chases after him. What happened? She asks. A friend of mine was attacked. I need to get to the hospital. I'm coming with you. Diana, you don't have to. You said we're family. Family shows up. She climbs into the passenger seat. Drive. Marcus drives. His hands are shaking on the wheel. Emily. Sweet, brave Emily, who kept Sophia alive, who delivered the truth, who stayed loyal when she had every reason to run. If she dies because of him, because of his world, he'll never forgive himself. They reach the hospital in record time. Rebecca is in the waiting room with Sophia. Sophia rushes to Marcus. They won't tell me anything. Just that she's in surgery, that she lost a lot of blood. What happened? I don't know. I was inside making lunch. Emily said she was going to check the mail. I heard her scream, and by the time I got outside, there was a man running away, and Emily was on the ground. So much blood, Marcus. There was so much blood. Marcus holds Sophia while she cries. Rebecca notices Diana standing awkwardly by the door. Who's this? Rebecca asks. Diana, my sister. Marcus doesn't have time to explain further. Where's the doctor? Still in surgery. It's been 2 hours. Marcus paces. Diana sits next to Sophia, quietly offering tissues. Rebecca makes phone calls updating Tommy and the others. 3 hours pass, then 4. Finally, a surgeon emerges. She's exhausted, blood on her scrubs. Family of Emily Thompson. Marcus steps forward. How is she? She's alive, stable. But it was close. She was stabbed 4 times. Punctured lung, lacerated liver, significant blood loss. If your friend hadn't called 911 immediately, Emily wouldn't have made it. Can I see her? She's in recovery, still unconscious, But yes, you can see her. One at a time. Marcus goes first. Emily looks so small in the hospital bed. Pale, fragile. Tubes and wires everywhere. He sits beside her and takes her hand, carefully mindful of the IV. "I'm sorry," he whispers. "This is my fault. I promised to protect you, and I failed." Emily doesn't respond, can't respond, but Marcus sits with her anyway, holding her hand, promising her that whoever did this will pay. When he finally leaves the room, he finds Tommy in the hallway. "I found something," Tommy says quietly. "Security footage from a neighbor's camera. Got a clear shot of the attacker's face." He shows Marcus's phone. The attacker is young, maybe 25, with a distinctive tattoo on his neck. Marcus recognizes the tattoo immediately. Russo family mark. "I thought the Russos were finished," Marcus says. "They are, but Antonio Russo had a nephew, Leo. He's been in prison for the past 3 years. Got released 2 weeks ago. And came straight for revenge. Looks like it. We're trying to find him now, but he's gone to ground." Marcus's phone buzzes. Text from an unknown number. "You took everything from my uncle. Now I take everything from you. One by one. Starting with the girl. Your wife is next." Marcus shows the text to Tommy. "Find him. I don't care what it costs. Find him today." Tommy nods and leaves. Marcus returns to the waiting room. Sophia sees his face and knows. "It's not over, is it?" she asks. "No, Leo Russo attacked Emily. He's threatening to come after you next." Diana speaks up. "Who's Leo Russo, Emme? The nephew of a man I destroyed. Now he wants revenge." Marcus looks at his sister. "I need to get you out of Chicago, somewhere safe until this is handled." "I'm not leaving you. Diana, people die in my world. I just met you. I'm not losing you already. And I just met you. I'm not running away because things got scary." Diana's jaw sets stubbornly. "You said we're family. Family doesn't abandon each other when things get hard." Marcus wants to argue, but he sees the determination in her eyes. She's a Vance, all right, stubborn to the core. "Fine, but you stay with Rebecca. She's taking you to a safe house. No arguments." Diana nods. Rebecca leads her away. Marcus turns to Sophia. "You too." "Absolutely not." Sophia, "I've been hiding for 2 years, Marcus. I'm done hiding. We handled this together." "He's targeting you specifically." "Then let him come. I'm not the same woman Vincent's people tried to kill. I'm stronger now, smarter, and I'm not losing you again because I was too scared to fight." Marcus knows that tone, knows there's no changing her mind. "Okay, but we do this smart. We set a trap." "What kind of trap?" Marcus pulls out his phone and types a response to Leo's text. "You want me. Meet me at the old Russo warehouse. Midnight, just you and me." The response comes immediately. "You think I'm stupid enough to fall for that?" Marcus types back. "I think you're angry enough to take the bait. Your uncle died in prison because of me. You want revenge? Come get it. Or are you only brave enough to attack defenseless women?" 3 minutes pass, then midnight. "Come alone or your wife dies." Marcus shows the text to Sophia. "He'll come. His ego won't let him refuse." "And then what?" "Then we end this. Permanently." Midnight finds Marcus standing in the old Russo warehouse. It's been abandoned for months, ever since Marcus destroyed Antonio Russo's organization. The perfect place for a final confrontation. Leo emerges from the shadows. He's carrying a gun. So is Marcus. "You came," Leo says. "You threatened my wife." "Of course I came." "Where is she? I wanted her to watch you die." "Safe, somewhere you'll never find her." Marcus keeps his gun trained on Leo. "This is between us. Leave Emily alone. Leave Sophia alone. You want revenge on me, here I am." "It's not enough." Leo's hand shakes with rage. "You destroyed my family. My uncle rotted in prison because of you. My aunt killed herself. My cousins are scattered across the country broken. One death isn't enough payment for that. Your uncle was a monster who preyed on innocent people. He got what he deserved." "He was family," Leo screams, "and you took him from me. The way your uncle took Sophia from me, the way he tried to kill her, or does revenge only flow one direction?" Leo fires. The bullet goes wide, hitting the wall behind Marcus. Marcus doesn't fire back. "You're not a killer, Leo. You stabbed Emily in a rage, but you let her live. You could have finished her, but you didn't. That's not a trained killer. That's someone who's angry and hurt and doesn't know what else to do. Don't pretend to understand me. I do understand. I've been where you are, consumed by revenge, willing to burn the world to make the pain stop. Marcus lowers his gun slightly. But it doesn't work. Killing me won't bring your uncle back, won't heal your family. It'll just add one more body to the pile and turn you into exactly what you claim to hate about me. I don't care. Yes, you do. Otherwise, you would have shot me the moment I walked in here. Marcus takes a step forward. I'm going to make you an offer, one time only. Walk away tonight, leave Chicago. I'll give you money to start over somewhere else. New identity, clean slate. You can build a life that isn't consumed by your uncle's choices. You think you can buy me off? I think I can give you a choice your uncle never gave you. Be more than his revenge. Be your own person. Leo's gun wavers. Why would you do that? Because someone recently told me that breaking cycles of violence is the only way to actually win. And because I'm tired of creating new enemies. Marcus holsters his gun. I'm unarmed now. If you want to shoot me, shoot me. But know that if you do, my people will hunt you down. Tommy Victor's replacement, he's not as forgiving as I am. You'll die badly. Or you can take the money, take the new identity, and live. Leo stands there, gun still pointed at Marcus for what feels like an eternity. Then he lowers it. How much money, he asks quietly. 500,000. Enough to start over anywhere in the world. And I never come back to Chicago. Never. You come back, the deal's off, and Tommy gets creative. Leo nods slowly. Okay, I'll take it. Marcus pulls out his phone and makes a call. Tommy, wire the package to the account we discussed. Leo Russo's leaving town tonight. 20 minutes later, Leo has confirmation that the money's been transferred. He looks at Marcus one last time. I still hate you, he says. I know, but you'll live. That's more than your uncle can say. Leo leaves. Marcus waits until he's gone, then texts Sophia. It's done. He's leaving. Sophia emerges from where she's been hiding in the rafters above. You think he'll actually leave? I think he's smart enough to take $500,000 and run. If not, Tommy has people tracking him. Marcus pulls Sophia close. But I meant what I said. I'm tired of making enemies, tired of violence begetting more violence. Vincent would have killed him. I'm not Vincent, and I'm never going to be. They leave the warehouse together. Outside, Diana is waiting with Rebecca. You weren't supposed to come, Marcus says to his sister. I wanted to make sure you came out. Diana hugs him awkwardly. That's what family does, right? Worries about each other. Marcus hugs her back. Yeah, that's what family does. They return to the hospital. Emily is awake when they arrive, groggy from pain medication, but alive. You look terrible, she tells Marcus. You're one to talk. You have 4 stab wounds. 5, they found another one during surgery. Emily tries to smile, but winces. Is it over? Did you kill him? I let him go. Gave him money to start over. Emily's eyes widen. You what? I gave him a choice. Be consumed by revenge or build a new life. He chose life. Sophia's been a good influence on you, Emily says softly. The old Marcus would have killed him without hesitation. The old Marcus got people like you hurt. I'm trying to be better than that. Marcus takes Emily's hand. I'm sorry for bringing you into my world, for putting you in danger. I walked into your world willingly, kept walking even when I knew better. Emily squeezes his hand weakly. You gave me a family when I had no one, protected me. Believe me when I told you about Sophia. I'd do it all again. Even the getting stabbed part, especially the getting stabbed part, made me feel like a badass. She closes her eyes, exhausted. I'm going to sleep now. Wake me when the world stops trying to kill us. Marcus smiles. That might be a while. But Emily's already asleep. Over the next 3 weeks, life slowly returns to something approaching normal. Emily recovers, though the scars will be permanent. Diana returns to Boston but calls Marcus every other day. They're learning how to be siblings. It's awkward and strange and wonderful. The legitimate businesses continue to grow. Marcus's construction company breaks ground on a community center in Diana's name. His restaurants partner with food banks to feed homeless populations. His shipping company employs people with criminal records who can't get jobs elsewhere. It's not the empire Vincent built. It's smaller, cleaner, but it's Marcus's. One evening, Marcus and Sophia are having dinner at one of their restaurants when a man approaches their table. He's in his 70s, well-dressed, carrying himself with authority. Marcus Vance, the man says. Marcus tenses, hand moving toward his gun. Who's asking? My name is Richard Chen. I was your father's attorney for 35 years. Marcus relaxes slightly but keeps his guard up. What do you want? To deliver something Vincent left for you, something he instructed me to give you only after you'd proven yourself worthy. Richard pulls out an envelope. He said I'd know when that time came. Based on what I've seen, the legitimate businesses, the community programs, your choice to spare Leo Russo instead of killing him, I believe that time is now. Marcus takes the envelope. Inside is a key and a short note. The note reads, if Richard is giving you this, it means you've become the man I always hoped you'd be, but never had the courage to be myself. The key opens a safety deposit box at First National, box 2847. Inside is a gift, not money, not power, something better. Use it wisely. I'm proud of you, son. V. Marcus shows the note to Sophia. Her eyes fill with tears. Are you going to open it? She asks. Tomorrow, with you and Emily and Diana. Whatever it is, we face it as a family. The next day, they gather at the bank. Emily is still moving carefully, holding her side where the stab wounds are healing. Diana flew in from Boston. Sophia holds Marcus's hand as the manager unlocks box 2847. Inside is a single leather-bound journal. Marcus opens it. The first page reads, The Truth About the Vance Family, for Marcus to do with as he chooses. The journal contains everything. Vincent's entire history written in his own hand, how he built the empire, every crime, every betrayal, every life he destroyed, but it also contains evidence, names, dates, locations, everything needed to bring down the remaining corruption in Chicago. Dirty cops, corrupt judges, politicians on the take. Vincent documented it all. He's giving you the choice he never had, Sophia realizes. Use this to expose the corruption and clean up the city, or bury it and protect the status quo. Marcus flips through the pages. Decades of crimes, hundreds of people who've escaped justice. He closes the journal. I'm giving this to the FBI, he says. All of it. Let them sort through it. Arrest who needs to be arrested. Clean house. That'll expose Vincent's crimes too, Emily points out. People will know what he did. Good. Let them know. Let history remember him as he really was. Not a legend, just a deeply flawed man who did terrible things and at the very end tried to make one thing right. Marcus looks at Diana. You okay with that? Your father being exposed. Diana takes a breath. He made his choices. We don't have to own them, but we can own what we do with the information he left behind. If this can help people, if it can clean up corruption, then yes, I'm okay with it. Marcus nods. He makes the call to a FBI agent he's worked with before, an honest one, rare in Chicago. Within a week, the journal's contents trigger the largest corruption investigation in Chicago's history. 17 arrests in the first 72 hours, more coming daily. The news calls it the Vance scandal. Vincent's name is dragged through the mud, but so are the names of every dirty cop and corrupt official he worked with. Chicago begins to heal. And Marcus, standing in his office watching the news coverage, feels something he hasn't felt in years. Peace. 6 months later, Diana's community center opens. It's beautiful. State-of-the-art facilities. Programs for at-risk youth, job training, mental health services, everything Diana dreamed of. Marcus stands at the dedication ceremony watching Diana cut the ribbon. Sophia is beside him, her hand in his. Emily is there too, fully healed now, working as the center's volunteer coordinator. Rebecca approaches with a surprise guest, Tommy, and he's brought someone, a woman, 50s, tired looking but smiling. Boss, there's someone who wanted to meet you, Tommy says. This is Patricia Cross, Daniel's mother. Marcus tenses. Daniel, the man who betrayed him, who shot Sophia. Mrs. Cross, he says carefully. Mr. Vance. Patricia's voice is steady. I know what my son did. Tommy told me everything, and I'm not here to make excuses for him. Daniel made his choices. He has to live with them. Then why are you here? To thank you for not killing him, for giving him a chance to spend his life contemplating what he did instead of just ending it. Patricia's eyes fill with tears. He's my son. I raised him better than that, but you showed him more mercy than he deserved, and I wanted you to know that his mother appreciates it. Marcus doesn't know what to do. He's settled for a simple nod. Patricia leaves. Marcus watches her go, feeling something shift inside him. Forgiveness. Not for Daniel, but for himself. For all the choices he's made, all the violence he's committed. He's not Vincent. He never will be. He's Marcus Vance. Brother, husband, friend, employer, community leader. And finally, after 38 years of trying to live up to or escape his father's shadow, he's just himself. That evening, Marcus returns to Sophia's grave in the small park, the real grave where Emily buried her, where Marcus has been visiting every week since he learned the truth. He kneels beside it. Sophia is at home alive, safe, probably cooking dinner right now. But this grave represents something important. The woman Sophia was when she died, the sacrifice she made, the 2 years Marcus spent mourning someone he thought was gone forever. I did it, he tells the empty grave. I became someone you could be proud of, someone Diana can look up to, someone Emily trusts, someone worthy of the second chance you gave me. He stands, brushes dirt from his knees. Sophia, the living, breathing Sophia, is waiting for him at home. Diana is planning her next visit. Emily is building programs that actually help people. The organization has transformed into something that builds instead of destroys. Vincent is dead, truly dead this time. And Marcus is finally completely, totally free. He walks away from the grave, doesn't look back, because the past is the past, and Marcus Vance has a future to build. 2 years after that night in the restaurant, after Emily revealed the truth, after Vincent's tests, after all the betrayals and revelations and transformations, Marcus sits in the community center Diana built, watching kids from the neighborhood learn job skills that will lift them out of poverty. Sophia sits beside him. Her hand finds his automatically. You did good, she says quietly. We did good, Marcus corrects. All of us. Diana approaches with news. The city council approved funding for 3 more centers. They want to use this as a model. Emily joins them excited. And I just got a call from a foundation. They want to donate $2 million to expand our programs. Marcus looks at the 3 women who saved his life in different ways. Sophia with her love and sacrifice. Emily with her courage and truth. Diana with her fresh perspective and unwavering belief that people can change. What do you want to do now? Sophia asks Marcus. He thinks about it, about the empire he could have had, the power Vincent offered, the darkness he chose to walk away from. I want to go home, he says finally. Make dinner, watch a movie, live a normal, boring, completely legal life, at least for tonight. They laugh because it's absurd, because 6 months ago, Marcus Vance's idea of a normal evening involved coordinating criminal operations across 3 states. But today, normal is exactly what he wants. They leave the center together. Outside, Chicago gleams in the setting sun. The city Vincent corrupted. The city Marcus is helping to heal. And as Marcus walks home with his wife, his sister, and his friend, he realizes something profound. He won, not by becoming more powerful than his father, not by building a bigger empire, not by being more ruthless or more feared. He won by choosing to be better, by breaking the cycle, by building instead of destroying. Vincent Vance spent his entire life trying to forge his son into a weapon. Instead, Marcus became something far more dangerous to everything Vincent represented. He became a good man. And that Marcus realizes as he opens his front door and steps into the home he's built with Sophia is the greatest revenge of all living, well-loving deeply, and proving that the Vance name can mean something other than fear. The necklace Sophia gave Emily all those years ago hangs on Marcus's wall, now framed and protected. A reminder of how one act of kindness changed everything. How one young waitress's courage unraveled a conspiracy and saved 2 lives. Marcus looks at it one last time before heading to the kitchen, where Sophia is already pulling out ingredients for dinner. What are we making it, he asks. Whatever we want, Sophia says, kissing him. That's the beautiful thing about freedom. We get to choose.